I feel in the face of all the problems in the world impotent, and why I somehow cannot manage to transform I. Now here we get to the real problem, because we're always telling each other that we should be different. Now, I'm not going to tell you that tonight. Why not? Because I know you can't. Nor can I. That may sound depressing, but I'll tell you it isn't. It's very hard. But everybody, you see, who is at all sensitive and awake to their own problems and human problems is trying to change himself. We know we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. So when we are aware of the ego I, we are aware of this chronic tension inside ourselves. And that's not us. It's a futile tension. So when we get the illusion, the image of ourselves, married to a futile tension, you've got an illusion married to a futility. And then you wonder why I can't do anything.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, there you go. Today, oops, god damn it, just hitting buttons around random here. Hello. I didn't warm up my voice. I usually yell into the microphone for a good 30 seconds while that loading screen is on, but I didn't do that, and now I sound really shy. Yeah, usually, okay, there I go. See, now I sound better. Okay, it just takes me a second to get into my announcer voice, but I'm here now. And I'm going to start this trading view idea over because nobody's going to listen to me have 30 seconds of that. So, welcome. Let's do this again. So, we have a lot of compression happening on Bitcoin now. We do have our defined longest over expanded period, which is the 220, right? And the good news about that is, well, a defined pivot is easy to trade. So, we know if price enters this band right here, we will trade down to this mean, in theory. More accurately, we will trade laterally as defined by this compressing band if that period is entered, which implies that at some point during the compression, it will hit the center, right? It's just probable that if you have a seemingly random set of data points defined by a range, that eventually it will hit the middle of the range, right? So that's why mean inversions work. Really, the only condition is that it needs to stay inside the compressing band, and this has happened to me a few times before, where price is like, hey, I'm just gonna stick here while the band compresses, and then the mean just travels up, and nothing gets met, and then trend continues. That happens, right? And the condition technically fills, and it's correct, and I make no money off of it. But that's the number one downside of the strategy, is the conditions are super accurate. It just doesn't mean you're going to make money off of them. So, with all of this in mind, again, mean inversion is still super probable. So we just need to cozy up and wait for, what's it called? The mean inversion on the higher time frame. right? Because we have this pivot here, the 220 band, but also on the 1 hour chart, we also have the same pivot, or the same period. Right, on the 3D wave PM, it also shows the 220 period. And if you actually take a look at this 220 period right here, beautiful, right? When we re-enter the band, it implies reversion down to this mean. And now we are just trading directly on top of the mean, and again, the band is compressing around price. All right, because this previous overexpansion was the same value, 220 as well. So this is particularly swell for two reasons. We have the mean reversion pivot here on the higher time frame, which I'll just going to manually draw in like that. And over here on the 1 hour chart, we have lateral trading as defined by this compressing band. So we can rather reasonably take longs at the bottom edge of this band, and we can rather reasonably take shorts at the top edge of this band, right? Because we are in a state of compression, we are in a state of flagging, if that's what you want to call it, where price will be defined by the top edge of here and the bottom edge of here. Now, the top edge is a hard pivot. Price will have a very difficult time of going up above, right? It's a resistance, if I do so say. Now, the bottom line is a pivot, not a resistance, or a support for that matter. It's not a support, it's a pivot. And the difference is, it's reasonable to expect that there's a 50% chance we're going to stay above the pivot and a 50% chance we're going to stay below the pivot. But here's the thing. When the pivot is crossed, then the probability changes, where then this pivot becomes a resistance, right? Because if we go below the pivot, then it becomes a resistance for the same reason that this is a resistance, right? Because it's a new compressing period. Then you expect lateral trading as defined by it. But the 220 on the 4 hour chart is technically still in a state of expansion, right? Because this is in a state of upward expansion. We still have the upward state of trend as defined by the 4 hour chart. And well, trend is technically sustained despite the obvious compression on the shorter time frames. So what happens if you have compression on the shorter time frames, but then you also get compression on the longer time frames? Well, then that sets up a pretty good bearish scenario. So we have kind of at least the bare minimum. We're going to do nothing for a while, or retest previous highs. That is still in the cards, where price can do something like this. But trend continuation is really improbable for the next few months, right? Because we need all this right here to look like this right here, right? When we generated all this mass right here, this distributional width, it took, let's check for the exact moment where it started compressing. Before we actually got a new kind of upward trend, it took 1 month, 29 days. So we actually have very similar mass readings, and it's reasonable to assume we're going to get the same compressionary period. Now, what's weird is that compression is always defined by the lower edges of the bands as well, right? Because it's lateral trading as defined by it. So the compression condition, if this is entered, this longer macro level band, price will trade laterally as defined by this here. Now, if we go inside that, if we have this data set and we can throw darts at it and predict random values to hit, we might get some at the top, we might get some at the bottom. Right, and no, the market isn't truly random, but the point I'm making is, if you have a very large containment area for a set of data, it is more logical to assume the data set will be dispersed rather than compressed of the data set. So if we actually enter this band here, while it is possible that we'll get price trickling along the top edge here as the mean travels up to meet price, it is more probable that we will see a more dispersed data set. Unless, of course, there's significant buying pressure. And that's not something you can define until you see it. So that's why we're laying out scenarios rather than making predictions. Because if you have decent scenarios, well, I'm happy to say, it makes predictions a whole lot easier when they actually validate or invalidate themselves. Okay? And do I have water? I do have water. Okay, thank God. Yesterday's cup, but I'm really thirsty. Ugh, it's stale as hell. Why did I do that? No. Anyway. Really, it's kind of my prediction. Nothing's really going to happen. If we stay above this bend, we're going to get a compressing range. If we go inside the bend, we're also going to get a compressing range. It's just where the compressing range will be defined. Okay? And I guess one important note to say as well is even though we have this pivot here, if we re-enter this bend, we won't immediately dump. Why? Well, that's an excellent question. Because we are trading laterally as defined by this compressing band here. And if that's the case, well, if we dip inside the mean reversion pivot, we still need to compress as defined by this longest overexpanded period. Well, hold on. Nope, never mind. Trend can technically continue here on the 1 hour chart. Okay, never mind. So, because I didn't check that, and that makes this resistance a lot weaker. So trend continuation is technically possible. It's still improbable. And downward trend is possible as well. It's really the 4 hour pivot that's going to be the strongest signal for us right now. Okay? Okay. That's kind of what I have to say about Bitcoin right now. Let's check the daily real quick. Yeah, the parabola is broken. We have bearish confirmation. A lateral move is most probable, or at least a slow trickle to the downside. Okay? Beautiful. See you trading view, folks. All right, you people watching the YouTube video, I am in need of your altcoin analyses, or rather, which coins I should analyze. Jesus, analyze. Okay, we need to look at BNB. Right, because we actually had a positive mean reversion pivot here, and I'm happy trading it, so. This performed really well. I think Nano should have as well. I was out. No, Nano didn't. Okay, well, luck of the draw. I called the one that succeeded, and I ignored the one that didn't. That's very convenient for me, because they were pretty much the same chart. So here, this was a pretty cool chart. We had the 350 period. Let's draw that out. Okay, so that's really cool. We re-entered this band, we reverted to this mean. Excellent. We will now trade laterally as defined by this compressing period until this reads below a 0.7 value. Nice, convenient, and straightforward. We're going to look at BAT. That was a call, by the way. I already said that. Okay. Might have a lateral mean reversion condition active. Really choppy mass reading, though. Maybe 6 hour lower resolution lead clear. GC says Litecoin halving coming up. That will be a pump play. You literally have the Litecoin icon as your YouTube comment logo or icon. The Litecoin, never mind. You know what I'm saying. So, yeah, you might be right, but I am sensing some bias, so I will take a look at the chart. Yeah, you don't have your personal icon as the Litecoin logo unless you're holding a lot of Litecoin. So maybe you're right, but I'll check it out for you. Okay, we want to look at the 160 here. Oh, can you, since you know a lot about Litecoin, can you give me the dates of all the previous Litecoin halvings? That would be really cool, and then I can actually like apply them to the chart. Okay, I don't really like this, man. Not the best of charts. You have too much converse expansion happening at this time. And converse expansion doesn't make for good trend. Because it implies there was excessive downward force applied, and then you don't have the pivots to define the upside either. So, we're going to take a look at TRX, which to my understanding... Oh, shit, I have it open short on TRX. I haven't checked it in like 3 days. Okay. That's fine. I shorted it here. I need to adjust my stop loss from here to here. Quad CCI still implies some excellent short positions, so I'm still short. And it looks like we're getting compression as defined by the longest over expanded period. That's defined now. So we're going to take a look at the 100 period. This is probably going to be pretty good. Hold on. Yeah, we got our mean reversion. Downtrend isn't quite yet ready. So this is probably going to briefly flag it out. And then we'll get trend continuation. Hopefully. I mean, we're pretty close to the previous low. And I don't really assume... I should probably close this short. Yeah, okay. I am shorting this bearish... I'm sorry, I'm shorting this bullish order block. And that's probably not the best idea. We'll probably retest low lows again. Or previous lows. So at least I can have a good place to take profit. But, expecting any significant trend continuation below 300 is super improbable. LON, I've never heard of that. Check it out. Lawn. Get off my lawn. Okay. I don't think that's gonna load. Try again over here. I don't know why I thought that would be any different. Ren. Okay, it's just the chart. I need to refresh the chart template. One of the head dudes in Tron is busting off to start his own chain. Hey GC, thank you for these cool comments, because I don't know any of the fundamentals of anything in crypto at all. Like, just completely foreign to me. So thank you for these insightful comments. I appreciate it. My strategy kind of operates in a vacuum, so. I'm a one-trick pony. Oh my god, what is happening? I just want to load my tickers. Please. And I'm super annoyed because I opened up my pirated version. Never mind. We're not going there. I have an image to maintain. Story time is over. Can I please type in that other ticker, please? Okay, that was so weird. Can you short this? It's an active downtrend and there's no cross mean reversion pivot, so it's pretty attractive. We'll try RLC instead. Implied active. Oh man, you gave me a hard chart. Oh, look how nicely that pitchfork lines up. I got the swing high was aligned though. Alright, when pitchforks you want to get it as accurate as possible. Now, the range is too volatile for it because it's actually an expanding range. No, that's not right. And I don't want to use a swing high on a wick, so I can't really use the pitchfork tool accurately here. I should have noticed that at first. Pax Smile says, you can't just say pirated version and then not finish the sentence. Come on, LOL. Let me just say I'm going to have trouble making my YouTube thumbnails for a minute. Taking it back to MS Paint. Except on a Mac, so... Probably like emulate Windows 98 so I can make my YouTube thumbnails. That'll be great. God, you guys took a really long time to bump up the viewership. We were like sitting at 10 viewers for a while. Usually there's like 15 here in the first minute. But it's a lazy Saturday morning, so I accept your ennui. I want to go outside. It's nice out. Except they have a flat tire and I don't feel like taking the time to fix it. Okay, charts. RLC, I don't know. It could be the swing low. It could be the start of a downtrend. It's just really choppy. I think it's just noise. There you go. How am I supposed to draw this trend line? How's anyone supposed to draw this trend line? Probably like this. I'm going to draw it like that. Because this trend line has 3 points of contact. And, you know, you really want to assume, like, oh, hey, this is the swing low. But even with, like, the most basic kind of analysis, your potential drawdown is still... I like how they don't let you use the ruler tool if you have the marker selected. Like, it's another 12% downside. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Yeah, it was my own fault because I didn't turn on my reverse. I had turned off my reverse firewall and I forgot to turn it back on. So, like, being able to control all the information that goes out of your computer is really cool. Probably not FUSD because it's pretty much the exact same as Bitcoin right now. It's just a parabola and then the initial first drawdown. I do have to say, parabolas do end in similarly spectacular fashions as to when they started. We're going to check out Ethereum, BTC. Hey, it's quite the jump. Do we want to I don't know what to think about this. This is pretty foreign structure. GC says, I have a flat on my boat also. Dude, it's a boat? You have flat tire on your boat? But it's 110 degrees, and that says wait later. That's fair. I have a bike. I want to get a new bike, but I'm also saving up to go to Thailand, so... It's still like a $600 bike, so... It's pretty nice. I just kind of overuse it. Yeah, I don't know what to think about this. Okay. We have a mean reversion pivot, so I can do this much for you. Okay, 100 period. Nice. Is this set to 100? It's not. Let's set it to 100. Okay, we are still technically in a state of trend from the look of it. Yep. We can actually set an alarm on the mean reversion pivot. Let's do it. A boat trailer. Nah, dude. I pictured like the SpongeBob boats that they drive on the bottom of the ocean. Definitely what happened. We want FBTC crossing Bollinger Band Meow Mix up band 1. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. I have no idea what ergo is, but let's check it out. Guys, do you want me to live trade? I can live trade. I'd have to do like some setting up, so I hide my email address and all that stuff. Just put a black square on OBS where my email would normally be. And I will tell you preemptively, my password has been generated as a 32 character long random string of letters and numbers. So, good luck. And then, actually, a lot of my passwords are just full sentences with spaces. And they end up being like 40 characters long. That's the best way to do a password, is just a sentence. If you do a full sentence with the spaces, nobody's ever going to be able to guess that. And it's super easy to remember. Like, people can barely remember a phone number. Trading on the 1 minute chart. Yeah, I can do that. I'll show you. Can even do it on Ethereum with excessive leverage. Although, really, I'm gonna make a chart template right now. Bear with me. Somebody write down all of the BitMEX tickers, would you? I think it's just FM19, right? Okay. And then we want... How many tickers are there on BitMEX? I think 6, right? Oh my god, this is going to be intense. But totally possible. Oh my god. 6 instances of WavePM. Okay, yeah, we're going to set this up. I think I'm going to live trade either today or tomorrow. First, we need to unmatch the symbols. It's going to be ADA M19. This one is LTC M19. What are the other ones? I don't remember. You guys got to fill me in. Oh, I can also just type BitMEX in the ticker, of course. BitMEX. Are you sure? I know what I'm doing wrong. I think I can just select it manually, right? Yeah. Ha, joke's on you. Don't make me do it again. Oh, thank God. TRX, M19, and what else would I want to trade? I have Bitcoin, I don't have EOS. Should I do EOS or BCH, huh? Probably EOS. I think BCH is a little bit funky as far as that goes. Okay, and I think I'm gonna default it like this. And then let's see if I can remember how to do this correctly. I need to make a copy 3D Wave PM single 2. And then this is still saved, this is default. And then I need to rename the current one to BitMEX scalping. Okay. Beautiful. So just looking at this chart right now, we might have implied active trend on Cardano. Let's check it out. Actually, there's no implied true expansion at this time. Might look better on the 3-minute chart, though. Hold on. True periods of compression seem pretty rare, actually. I'll be honest. This would have been the only... I'm actually going to point out all the positions I would have taken just looking at this 3-minute chart. Okay? So just from the 3D wave PM, we have 2 positions. Or 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, if we're being generous. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then, since I don't feel like manually changing the period a bunch, I'm going to do... BCH will be pumped by Roger Ver. I am super against relying on fundamentals to move the price for me. I actually do the opposite of trading news. I trade the compression that results from news. It's a lot better. Right, since... Let me put it like this, and you should probably write this down, because I feel like I'm clever here. It is very difficult to define the amount of force that will be applied by market participants after reacting to a piece of news. But if you measure the amount of force that had been applied after the move has happened, you can identify the required amount of consolidation and the range of the consolidation. Because for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. For every expansion, there is a similar period of compression. So you can try to trade the news, or you can try to trade the resulting price action after the move, which is far more accurate. Is this indicator even loading? I didn't load it. That's my fault. I need mean inversion MA. M is for mean inversion. MA 600 max. Just check it out. So while we wait for that to load, I'm going to point out the one bullish signal, or rather the one true expansion on this chart. It's actually 2. So we had one signal here because we had net compression, everything below the 0.7 value, and every CCI period weighs to the same side, so we could have shorted that there. So like this is probably news right here, right? But it generates distributional width to the 160 period. Ah, lovely. And I'm going to point out the periods of compression. And yes, I am using an automated value to define them. So 3D Wave PM is going to be my guide for telling you which ones are actually active or true conditions. All right. So this here is a short. This here's a short. This is not a signal. Not here. Why? Because it's volatility overhead. It doesn't get its own reading. This here's a long. This new generation here is artificial from this expansion, so this one doesn't count. But this here, this active mean inversion condition would have triggered. However, like while we look at this position right here, this success, what's really important to note is this candle here. Because I would have longed on this candle because that's the implied mean inversion, and it failed, and it didn't succeed until after much more expansion. And you have to use really loose profit ratios on the micro time frames. This was really good, except... Yeah, okay, if I'm trading on the 1 minute or 3 or 1 minute chart, I'm going to be exclusively using CCI rolls to catch my entries. That's super important to understand, right? Because here we have the 15 period. We would need to use the 14 period CCI roll to actually gain entry, which would have been this candle and this candle. And let's see how those two performed. That would have been along there. That would have stopped out for sure. But this also would have been a long. And the second time around, we caught the exact bottom. and it did result in the mean reversion. Alright, so let's talk about profit ratios. You enter here, and you stop out 1.5%, 2%, but you get your re-entry, and you make 5%. Wow, this is super volatile. This is exciting. God, I'm really going to enjoy this. Volatility overhead here, so it's not a signal. Also, this is net expansion. Oh my god. That's a great FOMO candle. Let's actually use the replay feature on, say, which ones do you guys choose, huh? I'm giving away way too much free information right now. But it's okay. I make enough money trading. Probably not TRX. I say we do EOS for this, okay? Okay, and just here on the 1 minute chart, I'm going to zoom super far out. Oh, guess what I learned how to do? Hold shift and scroll. It's this... By God, I can't believe it took me so long to learn just to hold shift and scroll. It's not listed in the, whatchamacallit? In the shortcut documentation. Oh. The 1 minute data back only goes to the 5th. That's insane. Okay. So, let's pretend I trade nonstop since the 5th. You right? Ready? Let's do it. And for the sake of my sanity, I'm also going to load everyone's favorite indicator. I need to listen to music if I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my headphones. I'll be right back. And we are going to wait for mean version of main to load. So give me 1 second, please. I'll be back. Might be in my interest to do ACAT as well. Although that's a lot more experimental. I don't want to do it live, so at least for me, Cat has more experience with it. Okay. Let's begin. Also, I'm going to change the setting defaults on this because I don't like them. The blue and pink just killed me. So we're gonna go to style. Instead of a pink mean, I want this beautiful shade of teal, tealish red. And instead of upper and lower bands, I'm going to do a plot background of, wow, this is actually a lot easier than I remember it being. Yeah, I think a cat with charts told me that like they fixed the timeout settings. Not more blue. But get away with green. Yeah, that's a good choice. Okay, that's more aesthetically appealing. Oh, I'm not playing any music, but I'm wearing my headphones. I need my other cable. Hold on. There we are. Wow, that was fast. I have audiophile headphones, so I need the larger jack. Plug it into my audio interface. The headphone monitor. Okay. Let's do it. So, we have a lot of compression happening. Huh, the play button works on this video, but it doesn't work on Spotify. That's bizarre. We're gonna listen to Frontline Assembly. Oh, I can actually invite you guys to listen with me. Join me. And then I guess I'm just gonna copy and paste the video URL again. Link on a dump. Okay, 1 second. Oh, I changed my default chart. That's right. I need to bookmark that. Again with the loading, oh my god. Okay. Well, I'm gonna come back to that, I guess. I need to save this as the default setting for the indicator. Hold on. Okay. Looks good. Let's make sure this is set to 15. Oh, 100 and 200. No, I want that as 50. Okay. Everything looks good. Let's dive into it. So first thing I'm seeing here, this mean reversion MA is giving a leftover reading. So we can't use it there. So we're actually gonna have to manually define the value just right off the bat as the 140. So we're gonna briefly hide, and I need this to be more visually distinct. Hold on. It's a bit muddy right now. I'm gonna do yellow. Okay, there we go. Cool. Yeah, greens and teals are just too much at the moment. So, and I think I'm gonna send this visual order. I can't. What? Is it already in the front? That's so weird. Okay. All right, so we need to change this value to 150. Okay, let's just hit play, see what happens. Nothing yet. I don't want to increase the speed. Okay. Entering a small short here to this mean. Excuse me. To this mean. So, we're also going to wait for the CCI roll on the 14 period to gain entry into that. So this is 1/3 of our short entry, and we're going to enter the rest of the position on the remainder of CCI roll down. Okay, cool. At this location, we are now going to activate our trailing stop loss. Let's just assume 2%. This is a winning trade, so I'm going to speed things up, okay? Because at this point where we activate the mean inversion, the lowest point we could probably hit is down here. And honestly, this down here is probably going to be a bounce point. Although, then again, lateral trading as defined by the longest overexpanded period is... it just predicts the compression of the range. It doesn't predict which values it will hit inside that range. Didn't I make this invisible? Why is the yellow band still visible? There are 2 instances of this loaded. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that's right. I have one on the chart anyway. Huh. This is a great song. Who's listening? Nobody. Anyway, we could potentially take a long position here, but that's going to be a lower probability. So let's just see how it plays. Still short. Short is still open, mind you. We have a trailing stop open. I would probably close it here. If we're getting this kind of short-term compression, then it's not worth keeping the position open. So we could do a super small position size long if we touch the bottom edge of that band. Kind of like that. And then we could just assume it's going to trade laterally in the range. So we're technically not in it yet. Okay. That's super compressed. If I see that kind of confirmation candle, sure, I'll enter the trade. It's really pretty low probability, so I'm just going to lower the take profit quite a bit. Okay, if I see that happening, I'm just going to take profit because I didn't like the trade to begin with. Okay, we're now 2 for 2, right? We entered here, we exited here. So let's actually start adding up the percentage points of how these trades have been going. Right, so we have this position here. Where should I write this down? I don't want to like open a file editor because I don't know what I had last open. Maybe it's going to be that unencrypted text document with all my passwords. Just kidding, that doesn't exist. I can't believe people are like, oh, I did take a picture of my driver's license and it's on my desktop, so that's probably like the most threatening thing I could show you guys right now. Anyway, jokes of doxing myself aside, we are currently up 1% here and 0.3% here, so that's 0.5%, isn't it? Nice. So we're up 1.5% so far today. Let's hit play. Turn on my music. We have officially entered the realm of lateral chop. I don't care about anything that happens here. So I'm going to speed things up. That implies trend, but I don't like the signal, so I'm going to leave it alone. Tagging the 3.2 as well, so it's not a good trade. Lateral chop. You don't need to trade it. 90% of trading is knowing when not to trade. This is one of the times. I have no predictions or anything that's going to happen here. Speed things up. Because either there's trend or compression. Oh, okay, that's trend. Cool. Well, now that we have trend, we can find the subsequent compression. And to do so, I'm going to turn on mean inversion MA. Okay. Nice. This is a new active downtrend. We have 2 options. We can use quad CCI to gain entry into trend for a short position. But we can also attempt a long if our mean inversion pivot is crossed, which we are waiting to load. Okay, mean inversion pivot's super far away. Let's just hit play. Okay. Oh god. Did I miss that? Was that an active mean inversion? Oh no, that was from before we started trading. Haha. Okay. I was gonna play. that's technically a short entry. Or this right here, excuse me. That's technically a short entry. So... I don't really like betting on trend continuation all that much on 1 minute, because it's so volatile. But we can just set up a small trade like this. Okay, there's trend continuation. Beautiful. Glad we got that short. We're 3 for 3. Trade is still open. I'll let you know when I close it. There. Stop! Oh my god. It closed like 10 extra candles after I hit pause. Okay, close the short on this candle. And now we're in a long. So we're 3 for 3. We just took another 1%. So we're up 2.5% today. And yes, I'm just going to do them additively because I don't feel like doing compounding interest right now. So, or rather, using a compounding formula would be too difficult for the simplicity of the exercise. So, we have a long here. Again, 1/3 of the position has just been entered, and we're going to enter the rest of the position on the CCI roll-up. V24. So we want to change this to a 24 period. Honestly, I should just sit around all day and just do this. Just trade all day, every day. Okay, there it is. That's the long. Okay, we are now in a long position from this location. So let's draw it out. Kind of like that. Okay, there's a stop. We have just lost 0.5%, so we're down to a total of 2% today. What's important to note is the condition is still open, so we're going to be entering another long. Dredd says I sound like Ben Shapiro. I'm going to take that as quite the compliment. He's a very quick man. And a lot of people don't like him, and I really admire that about him. Anyway. We're listening to Spangle now. Okay. It's great trading music, I swear to God. That's what I use it for, trading. So, we're going to enter another long here, simply because condition's still active. We're still going to go to that mean. Let's hit play. I'm going to loosen the stop just a touch. Oh, that's spooky. Come on. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I'm probably going to exit a majority of the position around this location. So let's just... We're going to leave a small bit open with the original stop loss. Okay, there's the stop. Good. Ugh, what a nuisance. 1 minute chart. And then I missed an entire position just on these 3 candles. Because that was really clean. Watch this. 35 period. It's actually already adjusted to it. So that's a short entry right there to that mean. And it happened in 2 candles and I couldn't pause it in time. I love this song. Hey, Dredd, thanks for joining the Discord channel. It's a pleasure to have you. Also, listening to music while I live stream is apparently a good idea because now I'm much more inclined to enunciate so I can actually hear myself because the music is quite loud. So that's a short. Well, you couldn't take it because I used the replay feature too fast. And now this is like a downward expansion. So I actually don't want to call this mean reversion. I'm just going to wait till it generates more. Okay, this could end up being a longer trend continuation. Keep an eye on it. Nothing's certain here, though. No CCI rolls because of how flat price music is. Price music, price action, Jesus. Ah, I knew it. Okay. Oh, tagging 3.2. Like, there's no trend re-entry provided, so... Oh, it's because I don't have the right period set, god damn it. That's a nuisance. I forgot about that. Okay, it still would not have given an entry, so let's just hit play. I have a suspicion this is going to be a longer downtrend. Oh, wait! I want to short that. It's pretty risky, but the CCI roll down's happening, so... Stop's going to be a re-entry of that yellow band there. And we'll switch it to a long if it happens. Alright, you see this? When you get this like super tight compression here, you can bet on trend continuation pretty probably. And this is actually really nice because if we get any kind of upward or downward move, it's really going to commit. So I'm just going to play, and then whichever way it starts to break... Alright, because we're short from here, and now we're here. So downward trend continuation would be really nice. Okay, stop. We closed our short at a 0% loss, and we just entered to long. Or take profits of this mean here. Ah, come on. A little bit farther. Nice. Trailing stop loss active. We'll probably just place the stop at this location. Okay. Cool. Take profit. Nice trade. So that's what, another 0.7%. So we're at 2.7 now. This is assuming I'm unleveraged, mind you. Speed things up. I don't like anything here. New generation of mass. If we re-enter the yellow band, I'll short. There it is. Right, so we entered the short. On the re-entry of the yellow band, we expect reversion down to this mean. Let's just play and wait for it to happen. Okay, there it is. And we might get trend continuation, so I'm going to keep the short open. Alright, that's my loss. Lateral trading is defined by the longest overexpanded period. Yeah, okay. So, trailing stop took us out. I'm just going to assume we did pretty poorly on that one. So, we entered the short. Our lowest point was 1%, but let's assume we only got half of it because stop. So, 0.5. So, that's 3.2. Oh, we also have another short condition. So, we could have shorted there. Our stop loss is there. And we're just close to the mean. At this point, I would almost consider just closing the short at a 0% loss. Yeah, okay. That was the good choice. We now have upward expansion. We're going to get another short here shortly. Except there's funky volatility overhead, and I don't want to deal with it. So we can actually enter a quick short here to the downside. And that might play out. Let's see. Okay, no. Actually, no, the condition was actually still valid. Okay, well, I didn't say that we would have a trade, so even though I'm right here, I'll just hit play and assume I didn't take it. I need to slow down on the ticker. Because that would have been a great trade. Like, look at that. Look at how perfectly it retraces down to the mean and then starts trading laterally. Again, trading the periods of compression in between the trends is the best way to go. Oh, do you see this? That's a short signal. Yeah, this is rare. We're actually going to enter a short right here. We're going to do a pretty generous stop loss because I expect a larger trend continuation. I'm going to keep that open. I'm going to lower the stop to here now. Great trade. Holy hell, that's a lot of profit. We entered here, we're up currently 1%. I'm going to keep that trade open, and we're just going to keep on adjusting the stop lower. So, it's here now. We have new downward expansion. Oh, fuck. Okay, stop. There's the take profit. We took profit at this location. God, do you notice how it continues closing like 10, 15 candles after I hit pause? That was a huge trade. That's 1.5%. So 2.7 plus 1.5. Oh my God. Guys. How many days of analysis have we done? 3 days. This is assuming I've just traded nonstop for 3 days and I've made like, ugh. It's good stuff. It's a great song. Sakurai says we need more aggressive music. Well, click play. Join me in the Discord channel. Okay. That was a huge trade. Oh my God. We're gonna get trend continuation just to watch. Yep. I need to eat lunch. It's been an hour-long stream. Yeah, I'm gonna do some live trading tomorrow, folks. Because apparently I'm good at it. I'm gonna be done. I'll talk to y'all later. Yeah, guys, have a beautiful day. God damn it. What a nuisance. I took profit way too soon. Like, this was one of the only times where I didn't say, oh, we should use a trailing stop here. Like 4% on leverage. That would have been insane. Okay, now I would have taken profit. That's a long. Beautiful. Hit the mean reversion target. And now we might get trend continuation. Who knows? Okay, I'm done. I'll see you folks later.